Cops of Reddit, what is the most stupid criminal you have ever met? We had an inmate that would constantly call Crime Stoppers on his contraband cell phone and try to get them to give him the reward if he confessed to his crimes. He did this several times a month. He's just trying to work both ends of that deal. Nothing wrong there. Not a cop myself, but about 10 years ago I got held up and robbed by a group of 3 guys with knives. All they wanted was the money in my wallet, so me being the smart guy not wanting to mess with knives just obliged. At the end of the ordeal he put the knife to my throat and said, "If you ever tell the cops my name is less than redacted I will slice your throat right now." So I went home, called the cops, told them where it happened and gave them the name the guy told me. The name instantly rung a bell with them since the guy had come into contact with the police in the past. Cops went to the spot where I was robbed and they were laying in ambush for a new guy to appear. They could instantly identify the guy. He was arrested and that's about it. Happened in the Netherlands, don't know his sentence or anything. If you ever tell, I'll slice your throat right now. What, he a time traveler or something? What a dummy. Sounds scary just the same, though. Glad you came away unscathed. Not a cop or criminal, but we had a guy break into my high school with his buddy and smash a bunch of soda machines. We had cameras all over the school but these guys were smart. They said, "Nah, we're gonna cover up our faces so they don't know who did it," and then wore Letterman jackets with their names on the back. My friend's sister and a few of her friends thought it would be funny to steal alcohol from a liquor store when they were in high school. Her sister wore her Letterman jacket inside. Her mom was mad. I'm a 911 dispatcher, in Florida. Sometimes confused or drunk people knock on the wrong door or try to get into a house thinking it's theirs, but it isn't. It's an honest mistake. But the homeowner is rightfully very afraid, thinking they are about to be robbed or worse. Well, I had this kid, must have been in his early 20s and clearly stoned, call me going absolutely crazy that someone is trying to kill him and take his property and rape his girlfriend blah blah blah. I send units code 3 to this guy thinking it's a burglary in progress. Turns out the guy ordered a pizza and forgot about it. Scared the delivery guy half to death. Yay man, to be honest, some people's brains react berserkly to weed. Unless, it wasn't weed. Old roommate is a cop. He came home to tell me an ATM was robbed after hours for $15,240. The next day the man who robbed the ATM deposited $15,240 into his personal account at the bank he robbed the night prior. Every day I see a big black SUV with sheriff written on the side parked in the driveway across the street. I don't know if the guy is the sheriff or works for the sheriff, but one night I wake up to a dozen sirens outside. Turns out some idiot tried breaking into Sheriff Dude's house while he was home and his vehicle was right freaking there. So I'm sitting in the station, doing paperwork. I'm looking out of the window, and a few yards away is a bus stop. A young lad is smashing the glass of the bus stop, as a way of showing off to a couple of girls. So I sigh, walk about 20 yards over to him and arrest him. Another time, a lad had just broken into a pharmacy and stolen some drugs. Sleeping tablets, which he started taking, maybe to hide the evidence. Who knows how these people's minds work. There's a foot chase, which gets slower, and slower, and slower. I ended up just walking slowly behind him. The guy fell asleep while I was booking him in. Beginning of chase, Benny Hill theme. As the chase progresses, Benny Hill theme, but gradually getting slower. My dad is a cop and he was interrogating a robber which was denying he had any involvement since the start. Dad, the man told us that you robbed him of $500. Robber, no, it was only $300. He basically gave himself away. Not sure if this counts, since I'm not a cop, but I am a nurse in a very busy emergency room in a large city. We had a guy come in police custody for multiple reasons, one being that he was combative and very high. Long story short, we found various drugs up his ass. His response? Those aren't mine. Officer, I borrowed this rectal cavity and respectfully, it's on you to prove the rightful legal owner isn't me. From the local newspaper. Two young men in a pickup truck on a back road stopped a courting Amish couple in a buggy, and told the couple to give them all of their money. Spoiler, the Amish don't generally have money. They do have good memories, though, and told the cops the license plate number. The inept criminals were locals, too, and should have known better than to try and rob the Amish. If you rob the Amish, Brother Ezekiel will cram you into the butter churner and annihilate you. Ex-police officer here. I pulled over a dude for having a brake light out. Nothing serious, ran his plated and the likes. It all came back clean and nothing seemed off, until he exclaimed, "I haven't had any alcohol," in an over-enthusiastic tone. For some reason he thought this was a good idea. So nearly got away with it. Vodka doesn't smell. I breathalyzed him. Legal limit in England is 35. He blew over 60. Arrested on the spot and his vehicle towed. Idiot. To clarify, I did not mean that vodka is odorless. What I meant by that comment was that compared to beer or wine or other alcohols, vodka has a very mild smell. Most drink drivers I pulled either smelt of a stronger smelling alcohol or had obvious side effects of the drink, making it easy to see they were intoxicated. Hope this clarifies it a bit. 35 what? Like what is the unit used? I have only ever heard of BAC. I knew a guy who got busted selling weed. He went to his hearing at the court, and went through the metal detector, with an Altoid tin full of ecstasy pills in his pocket. It set off the metal detector. Sheriff's deputies searched him, found the pills, and arrested him on the spot. Have a family member that worked in the court system. The amount of people that come in either carrying or completely out of their minds on drugs is shocking. So this guy was arrested a couple days ago for driving a stolen vehicle. Vehicle gets impounded, guy gets thrown in jail. Upon release he decides to call the sheriff's department to ask where the stolen car is because he left his backpack in it in the course of stealing it. Says it's his property and I'm stealing it from him. She called us to get her keys she locked inside her car. Opened the door and instantly smelt weed. Unregistered handgun was in the side panel of the door and she had a warrant out for her arrest.